Some rappers built their careers on keeping it real. These guys built theirs on lies. From Soulja Boy, who promoted over 70 different crypto scams and made 730 racks, while his followers lost everything, to T.I. pushing a fake streaming company that raised millions before vanishing. And buckle up for this last one, with NBA Youngboy running a prescription drug fraud ring using fake doctors. We're breaking down 9 rappers who used their fame to run scams. Some paid fines and walked away, some went to prison, and some got caught so bad they had to publicly apologize just to save face. Soulja Boy, $730,000, crypto scam. Soulja Boy built his whole brand on being first rapper to blow up from the internet, first to hit 1 billion YouTube views. But between 2021 and 2023, he became the first to promote basically every crypto scam that popped up on his feed. A blockchain investigator named ZachXBT tracked it all. 73 different promotions, 16 NFT projects, and most of them either disappeared or turned out to be complete frauds. Soulja walked away with over $730,000 in fees, while the people who trusted him lost their money. The worst one was Rap Doge. On July 19, 2021, Soulja tweeted telling people to buy the token and drive the price up. He tagged Lil Yachty, and both of them started pushing it. Quavo jumped in too. Within hours of these rappers hyping it up, the whole thing collapsed. The people running Rap Doge pulled all the money out and disappeared. The coin went to zero. Everyone who bought it lost everything. Soulja, Yachty, and Quavo all got paid and moved on. Then came Floconomics, a knockoff Dogecoin that lied about being connected to Elon Musk. The creators bought fake press coverage to make it look real, then pulled all the money once enough people bought in. Soulja promoted it anyway. He also pushed 2 tokens called Orion and the Life Token that used cancer charities and suicide prevention groups as props to make people think they were legit causes. Orion's team deleted their entire Twitter a month after Soulja's posts. The Life Token was abandoned by early 2022. There was Parrots DAO, which got shut down within 24 hours of Soulja promoting it. There was a coin that claimed Elon Musk made it, which he obviously didn't. Every single one followed the same playbook. Soulja posts, the price shoots up, the scammers cash out, and regular people get stuck holding worthless digital coins. The SEC eventually stepped in. They hit Soulja with charges for promoting Tronics and BitTorrent tokens without telling people he was getting paid to do it. That's illegal. He ended up on a list with Lindsay Lohan, Jake Paul, Akon, and Nayo, all celebrities who took money to hype crypto without being honest about it. In December 2025, Soulja finally said he was sorry. He claimed he didn't understand crypto back then and didn't know some guy named Sahil was paying him to promote scams. He said it all happened years ago and that he's educated now. The apology came right after ZachXBT's report went viral, breaking down every scam Soulja touched. But there were too many projects and too much money stolen, so it's up to his fans whether to forgive him or not. T.I. fake Netflix of blockchain. In 2017, T.I. told his millions of followers about what looked like a can't-miss investment. It was called Flick Token, and they were calling it the Netflix of blockchain, a streaming service where you could use crypto to buy content. T.I. didn't just mention it, he told people he was a co-owner. He posted about it over and over, pushed his fans to invest, and even got another celebrity to promote it as T.I.'s new venture. Millions of dollars poured in. Then the whole thing turned out to be fake. The guy running Flick Token was a film producer named Ryan Felton. Once he had everyone's money, he stopped building anything and started spending. According to investigators, Felton bought himself a Ferrari, $1 million house, diamond jewelry, and whatever else he wanted. The streaming platform never launched. The tokens people bought became worthless. Investors got nothing back. I wasn't just casually mentioning this thing. Court records show he actively promoted it on social media and straight up lied, saying he was a co-owner when he wasn't. He even told other celebrities what to say when they posted about it, making sure everyone knew it was his project. And the whole time he never mentioned he was getting paid to promote it. That's illegal when you're dealing with investments. In September 2020, the SEC made T.I. settle up. He paid a $75,000 fine and got banned from promoting any kind of investment for 5 years. He didn't admit he did anything wrong, but he paid anyway. 3 other people who worked with him, including his social media manager, also got hit with fines totaling over $100,000 for promoting the scam without saying they were getting paid. Ryan Felton, the guy who actually ran the scam, got hit way harder. The SEC charged him with fraud and lying to investors. He also faced criminal charges. Felton had another fake crypto project called CoinSpark that worked the same way. Big promises, celebrity hype, and investor money going straight into his pockets. Some investors tried to sue T.I. and Felton to get their money back, but the lawsuit got thrown out because too much time had passed. By the time people realized they'd been scammed, it was too late to do anything legally. The tokens hit 35 cents each in October 2017. Then crashed to zero by the end of the year, after what the court called a massive dump. People who invested based on T.I.'s word lost everything. DJ Khaled, hyping fake crypto. DJ Khaled called it a game changer. Floyd Mayweather told his followers the company's sale was starting in a few hours and to get in quick. Both of them pushed a cryptocurrency company called Centra Tech all over social media in 2017. What they didn't mention was that Centra Tech was paying them to do it. The company raised $32 million from people who thought they were investing in the next big thing. Turns out, almost everything about Centra Tech was a lie. Centra Tech claimed they were building a platform where you could spend crypto anywhere Visa or MasterCard was accepted. They said they had partnerships with both companies. They showed off their team on the website. It all looked real. And when DJ Khaled and Floyd Mayweather were hyping it up, people believed it even more. But according to the SEC and the New York Times, nearly everything was fake. The partnerships didn't exist. The employees on the website weren't real people. The whole company was built on lies. Centra Tech paid DJ Khaled $50,000 to promote their coin sale. He never told anyone he was getting paid. On Instagram and everywhere else, he made it sound like he genuinely believed in the project and thought his followers should invest. Floyd Mayweather got even more, $100,000 from Centra Tech, plus another $200,000 from two other crypto companies he promoted. He didn't say he was getting paid either. The SEC came after both of them in November 2018. Khaled ended up paying $152,725 total. The $50,000 he got paid, a $100,000 fine, and some interest. He also got banned from promoting any investments for 2 years. Mayweather's bill was way bigger, over $614,000, plus a 3-year ban. Neither of them admitted they did anything wrong, but they paid the fines anyway. By that point, Centra Tech's founders were already in handcuffs. In April 2018, Robert Farkas and Saurabh Sharma got arrested and charged with fraud. The criminal case laid it all out: the fake partnerships with Visa and MasterCard, the made-up employees, the technology they promised but never built. It was all a scam from the start. The people who invested in Centra Tech because Khaled and Mayweather told them to lost their money. The tokens became worthless. The $32 million that got raised disappeared. Khaled and Mayweather's fines were nothing compared to what investors lost, but the case was a big deal. It was the first time the SEC went after celebrities, specifically for promoting crypto scams, without saying they were getting paid. Sean Kingston, wire fraud scheme. Sean Kingston had hits in the 2000s. Beautiful girls made him a household name. But by 2024, he was using what was left of that fame to run scams. According to federal prosecutors, Kingston and his mother, Janice Turner, spent years defrauding businesses by ordering expensive merchandise, promising to pay later, and then never sending the money. They used his celebrity status to build trust, then walked away with hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of goods. The scheme was simple but effective. Kingston would approach luxury vendors, jewelers, car dealerships, electronics companies, and tell them he wanted to buy something. Because he was a known artist, people trusted him. He'd promise wire payments were coming, get the merchandise delivered, and then ghost them. No payment ever showed up. By the time the businesses realized they'd been scammed, Kingston had already moved on to the next target. Court documents show the fraud stretched across multiple states and involved everything from high-end jewelry to luxury cars. Kingston used his past celebrity to convince vendors he was good for the money. Some of these businesses had dealt with celebrities before and thought they were safe. They weren't. Kingston and his mother allegedly conspired together, coordinating the scams and splitting the proceeds. In May 2024, Kingston was arrested. That August, he pleaded guilty to federal wire fraud. The court sentenced him to 42 months in prison, 3.5 years. His mother was also charged in the scheme, facing her own set of fraud counts for her role in helping orchestrate the scams. What made the case worse was how long it went on. This wasn't a one-time mistake or a bad business deal gone wrong. Prosecutors said it was a pattern, a deliberate operation designed to exploit Kingston's name and reputation to steal from businesses that trusted him. The vendors who got scammed were left with no recourse. Some lost tens of thousands of dollars on single transactions. Kingston's legal team tried to argue that he had financial difficulties and struggled to keep up with the lifestyle people expected from him. But the prosecutors weren't buying it. The evidence showed calculated fraud, not desperation. Wire fraud carries serious federal penalties, and the court made it clear that using celebrity status to commit crimes doesn't make them any less serious. G Herbo used stolen credit cards. G Herbo was on Forbes' 30 Under 30 list in 2020. He had a successful career, real money, and no reason to be scamming anyone. But according to federal prosecutors, he and his crew were using stolen credit card information to fund a luxury lifestyle they didn't want to pay for themselves. Private jets, Jamaican villas, designer puppies, luxury car rentals, all of it charged to hacked credit cards. The fraud totaled hundreds of thousands of dollars. The case that brought everything down involved puppies. Designer dogs, flown in under a fake name and billed to a stolen credit card, were traced back to the Chicago rapper. When the indictment dropped in 2020, G Herbo wasn't some struggling artist trying to make it. He was established. He had money. That's what made the 14-count federal case hit so hard. Federal prosecutors laid out a scheme that stretched from Boston to Beverly Hills. G Herbo, whose real name is Herbert Wright III, and his crew were accused of using stolen IDs and credit card data to fund private jets, villa rentals in Jamaica, exotic car rentals, and those now infamous purebred puppies. The fraud wasn't just about the money, it was about living a lifestyle on someone else's dime while already having the means to pay for it themselves. In 2023, Wright pleaded guilty to 1 count of wire fraud and 1 count of making false statements to federal agents. He'd lied to investigators when they first questioned him, which added to his charges. The court sentenced him to probation, ordered him to pay restitution to the victims, and mandated community service. He avoided prison time, but the case left a permanent mark on his record and his reputation. The fraud ring involved multiple people, and Herbo wasn't the only one charged, but he was the most high-profile name attached to it, and his involvement made headlines. The fact that someone on Forbes' 30 under 30 list was committing credit card fraud while already making legitimate money didn't sit well with anyone. What stood out most was the pettiness of some of the purchases. Designer puppies. It wasn't just jets and villas, it was luxury items that served no purpose other than flexing. Court documents detailed how the crew would use fake identities and stolen card numbers to book flights, rent cars, and pay for accommodations, all while the real cardholders had no idea their information was being used. Herbo's guilty plea kept him out of prison, but it cost him credibility. The restitution payments, the probation, and the community service were the legal consequences. The damage to his image was harder to quantify. Swagg Man, $10 million, international scam. Swagg Man built his image on wealth, luxury cars, designer everything, a lifestyle that looked completely real to his hundreds of thousands of followers. But according to multiple lawsuits and criminal investigations spanning several countries, almost all of it was fake. Swagg Man, a French-Tunisian rapper, stands accused of running a decade-long scam operation that defrauded fans, investors, and business partners out of an estimated $10 million. The schemes were elaborate. Swagg Man would approach fans who admired his lifestyle and offer them investment opportunities. One of his targets was Pierre, a French extreme sports coach in his early 20s who followed Swagg Man online. Swagg Man convinced Pierre to give him 25,000 euros in cash, claiming he'd invested on his behalf. Court documents show Pierre took a 3-hour train ride to Paris in December 2014 to hand over the money in a hotel. He never saw it again. Another scheme involved a French couple, Hugo and Catherine, who became close to Swagg Man and his associates. They helped him financially and negotiated deals for branded merchandise. In return, Swagg Man offered them a real estate investment, a luxury apartment in Fort Lauderdale. Between December 2021 and January 2022, the couple wired 4 payments totaling 1.5 million euros for the property. The apartment didn't exist. It was never for sale. Swagg Man disputes this version, but bank records filed in court show the transfers, and property documents show no such purchase was made. What Swagg Man allegedly did with the money is even more brazen. According to investigators, he and an associate used embezzled funds to buy 2 apartments in Miami, luxury high-rises through a company they controlled called Luxury Properties. Property records show the purchases happened in 2022, right around the time Hugo and Catherine were wiring money for their fake Fort Lauderdale apartment. The scam wasn't limited to France. Swagg Man's legal troubles span multiple countries. In Switzerland, he was accused of embezzling millions from Raiffeisen bank accounts. A Tunisian court initially convicted him, but an appeals court reversed the charges in January 2022. However, Tunisia's finance ministry continued to block the money he'd wired from the bank, indicating the investigation wasn't over. Swagg Man denies everything. He calls the people accusing him fake victims and claims all his legal problems trace back to a single enemy, a French-Tunisian businessman he describes as a stalker. He insists his wealth is real and that he earned it legitimately through music, partnerships, and business ventures. But the lawsuits, the bank records, and the property documents paint a different picture. What made Swagg Man's scams work was his image. He looked successful. He had hundreds of thousands of followers. He appeared in media coverage that legitimized him. People who wanted that lifestyle saw him as someone who could help them get there, and he exploited that trust over and over, according to prosecutors. The case is still unfolding, with investigations active in multiple countries. Swagg Man remains free, still posting on social media, still denying all accusations. But the paper trail is extensive, and the list of alleged victims keeps growing. Lil Wayne and Migos shows that never happened. In 2017, a man named Ramin Natan loaned $500,000 to touring companies representing Lil Wayne and Migos. The money was supposed to promote concerts featuring both acts. The shows never happened. According to a lawsuit filed by Natan, the rappers and their teams pocketed the money, registered fake companies to funnel it through, and never had any intention of performing. The lawsuit describes Wayne and Migos as Ponzi scam artists who used the promise of concerts to collect money they never planned to earn. Natan claims he was told the shows were being set up, that the artists were committed, and that the promotional loan would be paid back once ticket sales started rolling in. Instead, the money disappeared, the concerts were never scheduled, and Natan was left with nothing. Court documents allege that the touring companies created fake entities to receive the funds, making it harder to trace where the money actually went. By the time Natan realized he'd been scammed, the companies had already dissolved or gone dormant. The lawsuit sought the return of the $500,000 plus interest. calling the entire operation a deliberate scheme to defraud. What makes the case stranger is that both Lil Wayne and Migos were at high points in their careers in 2017. Wayne was still a major name, and Migos were riding the success of Bad and Bougie and preparing for their Culture album run. Neither act needed to scam anyone out of $500,000. They were making real money from real shows. Natan's lawsuit claims the scam worked because of the artist's credibility. People trusted that a Lil Wayne or Migos show would happen if their touring company said it would. The fake companies allegedly used that trust to collect a promotional loan, then vanished before anyone could follow up. The case was widely covered when it first dropped, but details on its resolution are unclear. Natan's legal team pursued the rappers and their touring entities, but whether the money was ever returned or if a settlement was reached hasn't been made public. What's documented is the accusation, $500,000 for shows that were never real. Guerilla Black, 27,000 stolen credit cards. By the time federal agents caught up with Guerilla Black, his rap career was already fading, but the scale of his fraud operation was massive. The Compton rapper, born Charles Tony Williamson, pleaded guilty in 2013 to trafficking more than 27,000 stolen credit card numbers. It wasn't a small-time hustle. It was a multi-state operation tied to hacking schemes that stretched from Seattle to Maryland. Guerilla Black's case started with an investigation into point-of-sale hacking at a restaurant in Seattle and a retail store in Shoreline, Washington. Hackers had broken into the payment systems and stolen credit card information from customers who thought they were making normal purchases. Those stolen card numbers ended up in Guerilla Black's hands, and he moved them through underground networks where criminals buy and sell financial data. According to the Department of Justice, Guerilla Black worked with a larger network of hackers and fraudsters. One of them, David Benjamin Schruten, was a Dutch citizen who ran a carding website from Romania. The site made stolen credit card numbers available for fraud, essentially operating as a marketplace for criminals. Schruten got arrested in Romania and was sentenced to 12 years in federal prison in February 2012. Another key player was Christopher Schroebel from Maryland. He was the one hacking into point-of-sale systems to steal the card information in the first place. Schroebel got 7 years in prison in August 2012. By the time Guerilla Black was indicted in July 2012, the feds had already taken down the main operators. He was the third piece of the puzzle, the guy moving the stolen numbers. Guerilla Black's guilty plea came in 2013. The 27,000 stolen credit card numbers he trafficked weren't just random data. Each one represented a real person whose financial information had been compromised. Those cardholders faced fraudulent charges, frozen accounts, and the nightmare of cleaning up someone else's crimes. The scope of the operation meant thousands of victims across multiple states. The case highlighted how credit card fraud works at scale. It's not just one stolen card used at a gas station. It's organized networks where hackers steal data, middlemen traffic it, and buyers use it to drain accounts. Guerilla Black was the middleman, moving stolen numbers from hackers to buyers, profiting off every transaction. His rap career never recovered. By the time he pleaded guilty, he was already out of the spotlight. The fraud case buried whatever was left of his music reputation. The sentencing details weren't widely publicized, but federal trafficking charges for that volume of stolen data typically carry serious prison time. What stands out about Guerilla Black's case is the scale. It wasn't a celebrity using his platform to promote a scam. It was a rapper running an actual criminal enterprise, moving stolen financial data on a level that required coordination with hackers across the country and overseas. The 27,000 number isn't an estimate. It's what he pleaded guilty to. That's 27,000 individual people whose credit card information he helped steal and sell. NBA Youngboy prescription fraud ring. In 2024, authorities in Utah accused NBA Youngboy of running a prescription fraud ring that used fake doctors, phony patients, and forged medical documents to illegally obtain prescription drugs. According to prosecutors, the scheme involved multiple accomplices who used real people's names and health insurance information without their consent to place orders at local pharmacies for opioids, sedatives, and other controlled substances. The operation allegedly worked like this. The crew would forge medical documents to make it look like legitimate prescriptions were being written. They'd use stolen identities and insurance data to process the orders, making everything appear legal on paper. Then they'd send someone to pick up the drugs from pharmacies, who had no idea the prescriptions were fake. The scheme let them obtain large quantities of controlled substances without anyone flagging it as suspicious. Prosecutors said the fraud ring involved multiple people playing different roles. Some handled the fake documents, others managed the stolen identity information. Someone had to physically go to the pharmacies and pick up the drugs. It was organized, deliberate, and ran long enough to raise red flags with investigators who noticed patterns in the prescription requests. What made the case more serious was the use of real people's information without their knowledge. The identity theft component meant innocent people could have been linked to illegal drug purchases they never made. Their names, insurance information, and medical records were being used to facilitate a fraud operation, putting them at risk for legal consequences they had nothing to do with. NBA Youngboy, whose real name is Kentrell Golden, was already dealing with legal issues when these charges surfaced. The prescription fraud allegations added another layer to an already complicated legal situation. The charges didn't come from music industry drama or a business deal gone wrong. This was a criminal operation allegedly designed to obtain controlled substances through systematic fraud. The case highlighted how prescription fraud works at a level beyond just faking one prescription. This was an alleged network using forged documents, stolen identities, and multiple pharmacies to move serious quantities of controlled drugs. Federal and state authorities typically pursue these cases aggressively because of the opioid crisis and the damage prescription fraud does to the healthcare system. Details on the case's resolution haven't been fully publicized, but the accusations alone were damaging. Prescription fraud involving fake doctors and stolen identities carries heavy federal penalties. The charges painted a picture of an organized operation, not a one-time mistake. What separates this from other cases on this list is the type of fraud. It wasn't crypto hype or fake investments. It was an alleged criminal enterprise designed to exploit the healthcare system and pharmacies to obtain drugs illegally. The people whose identities were stolen had no idea their information was being used. The pharmacies filling the prescriptions thought they were legitimate. And according to prosecutors, NBA Youngboy was at the center of it all. Here's the thing about scams in hip-hop. They don't just hurt the fans who lose money, they hurt the culture. Every time a rapper promotes a rug pull or fakes a business venture, it makes it harder for the next artist trying to build something real. Fans start second-guessing everything. Is this crypto legit? Is that NFT collection actually going somewhere? Or am I about to get played again? And the wildest part, most of these rappers didn't face real consequences. Soulja Boy apologized and kept moving. T.I. paid a fine and went back to music. DJ Khaled's career didn't skip a beat. The only people who really suffered were the fans who trusted them. So if you're watching this and you're thinking about investing in something that your celebrity's pushing, do your homework first. Don't let a blue checkmark convince you to hand over your hard-earned money. Because at the end of the day, when the scam falls apart, they'll still be rich and famous. But you'll be stuck holding the bag. If this video opened your eyes, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Because we've got another one coming next week about rappers who got scammed themselves. Trust me, karma's real. And some of these same guys who played their fans ended up losing millions to people who played them even harder. Drop a comment and let me know which case shocked you the most. I'll see you in the next one.